Good evening and salutations, my Days of Our Lives fans. So, for the most part, this episode was generally good, despite the whole Connie thing. But, at this point, Chad would just sit there and believe anything. And part of me is kind of annoyed about that, Like, there's so many different red flags, right? And he's not listening to his sister or pretty much anyone else that would sit there and say anything different that might suggest or hint at the possibility that it's not Abby. But I also understand that he is happy that he has his wife back. He needs to believe that like like his life depends on it. But also like his children's lives depends on it. So she comes over and apparently she was able to, because I sat there, she was able to remember some vows, right? And I'm just like, well, how is that possible? She said that she was able to get to the attic and she was able to find the vows. So she was able to get to the attic, come all the way down, do all of that, and Julie was none the wiser. Doug, the kids, nope, didn't see her. She's like a ninja at this point. Um, so she goes downstairs and she recites the vows, and he's like, "Oh well, it must be you because I mean, only you would sit there and know those vows." I was like, and she feels genuinely guilty about it, but Clyde and all this mysterious power that he has out of nowhere, even though he's in Supermax, he's able to sit there and just carry out all these orders. Um, at this point, I mean, I would sit there and take Clyde over this Connie crap. I mean, in reality, it would be nice to have, I don't know, a new villain. One that's not annoying as shit like her, but a new villain. Um, but at this point, I'll take Clyde back for a little bit. You know. Now, after she sets off the bomb, she goes to Ava's, and I'm just like, why are you over at Ava's place? Because Ava was not there bad mouthing her, and also she wants to sit there and kill Stefan because, he was also in Lee's downfall. So at this point, this chick is just ready to sit there and kill everyone. Just literally everyone. And when she went to Ava's place, I was like, okay, now this is getting like super ridiculous. But she comes over there, and she comes over there threatening her with a goddamn baby knife. I sat there was like, well, I've seen plastic knives at this point that would probably. Yeah, and like, let me get this straight. You pull out this tiny ass knife, and Ava's like, "Oh my god, um, you don't want to do this. I didn't say anything." I'm like, you're supposed to be a mafia princess, right? What are we doing at this point? By the way, before Connie's crazy ass came over there, um, she was still complaining about what Stephanie said. Just going on and on and on and on. It was very misogynist. It was this. It was that. It was third. How dare you sit there and do this? I was like, boom, you're a rapist. You literally sat there and raped Steve Johnson. You might want to sit there and get off your high horse at this point. You're doing way too much. You really are. Given your background, you might want to calm that shit down a lot. Um, Now, again, Connie comes over for a little baby toy knife, and she's all like, "Oh my god," blah 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 blah. And yes, I understand that it did some damage, but I'm just like, well, you could have took that away from her. What are we doing at this point? But Stefan does apologize, and he comes over there. He sees the knife at her throat. He tries to sit there and be like, listen, you might as well come at me. This is after she was whining and complaining of, you did this to Shen, and, you caused Shen pain and blah, blah, blah. Her usual crap that she spouts out at this point. But Stefan realizing that's not working, he decides to goad her. Starts insulting Lee. So this way, um, Connie could sit there and let her go and go after Stefan. Somehow, I guess this chick must have magical powers called plot armor, and she was able to sit there and get the best of Stefan. Now she tries to go back after Ava, but this time Ava grabs a knife and she whines and she complains, and then she runs out, and she gets stopped by Jada. We all know that Jada's gonna sit there and drop the ball. Okay? We all know that Jada's gonna sit there and drop the ball. I would love if Jada just sit there and put a bullet in her. Seriously, just put two in her, just like Sonny did, and just call it a day. I almost feel like Days of Our Lives have kept this villain on longer just to piss me off. Just not for anything, just to piss me off. Yes, that's right. I feel that important. Come on, she dropped the ball the last time. She had one job, and somehow you managed to lose the gun to what was his name, Vine Loister or whatever his name is. She's gonna drop the ball. Okay. Now the bomb goes off. EJ eventually wakes up. He sees Melinda. Melinda's like, go out to Gabby. He takes Gabby to the hospital. Even though Jada's like, well, the ambulance is here, or they're coming. You might not want to move her. EJ's like, there's no time. So he takes her down there, waits by her side. Eventually, Gabby wakes up. She kicks herself for, letting Connie the con artist. But he's like, listen, it's not your fault. You didn't know this woman was clearly unhinged. So, don't, put on yourself. But, he grabs her arm, or he grabs her hand, and she's very thankful for thinking she was going to die and waking up and seeing her. So we all know where this is going to go. They say that love and hate is two sides of the same coin. So yeah, that's going to wind up happening. Mark didn't really do too much. He talked to Fabi, and Chad told Fabi about, the explosion. She was like, oh my god. I'm like, come on. You care, you know what I'm saying? Like, you care about your mom. You don't really care about these people that much. Let's not sit there and try to act like you are really that concerned. Now Kayla does sit there and ask Mark, like, yo, listen, you sure you're the only person that was watching these tests the whole time? Because my husband, it's very important that these tests are accurate. It should be very important to her, more important to her than her damn husband, but whatever. Anyway, I feel like that's about it for the most part. Now, might have forgot some stuff here or there, but that's the general gist of the episode. If I miss anything, we will sit there and talk about it tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. Talking about all the shows, obviously, Days of Our Lives, Born and Beautiful, Young and Restless, and General Hospital. With that being said, I'm going to go. I'll see you in the next video.